And we're back, Jonathan. Welcome to the Road to Code, episode
21.
21. 21.
That's a pretty long time. We've been going for a while.
Yeah, we have 21 weeks, in fact. Well, it may look to our audience like 21 weeks. We actually took a break for a couple of weeks, and we're catching up now. One was a little vacation break you took.
Yeah.
And then the other one was a little birthday celebration of yours.
Yeah.
So we're catching up here. But I think we're doing good though. Our last episode was when we interviewed a former co-worker, buddy of mine, by the name of Jeff. And Jeff helped us with writing a application for a little lottery system, or not a lottery system, but a what do they call it? Raffle system.
Yeah, random number generator.
Yeah. So that's kind of cool. That's episode 20, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So if anybody wants to check out that random raffle, you guys can check it out. I think it's like 20 lines of code. It took us like less than 30 minutes to ride.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of cool. Let's talk about some merch.
Yeah.
Want to share your screen and talk about what we got?
All right. Whoops. The roadtocode.net.
And under official merch, it'll take you to the merch store where you can pick up t-shirt, tote bags, and mugs. But we're coming up on the end of a pandemic here. It's we've called it officially over, but I think we're starting up a new wave here, and so people may not have the money, Jonathan, to get this stuff. How can they get this stuff for free?
All you have to do is subscribe to the channel if you haven't already.
What channel?
The YouTube channel that we post our podcast on.
And how do we get there?
You go to youtube.com/growingupjohn.
What? Groaning up John? I think you spelled it wrong.
Grow. Ooh. Here we go.
Growing up John / growing up John. All one word, lowercase. Cool. And all I got to do is subscribe, huh?
Subscribe and then leave a comment on the video.
And if you are already subscribed, what do you got to do?
All you have to do is just leave a comment on any of our videos saying, if you don't have anything else to say, show me the merch.
Got it. Cool. And we're going to have this raffle every end of the month, huh?
Yeah.
Every last Sunday of the month, we're going to have this raffle. Cool. And we're going to keep on using our little raffle application.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet. All right. So there it is. Go to youtube.com/growingupjohn and subscribe if you haven't. If you're already subscribed, leave a comment in one of our videos. And if you have nothing else to say, just say, show me the merch. And that'll enter your name into the drawing, and we'll go ahead and use our little raffle application to determine who the winner is. And we'll contact you to pick up some merch, huh?
Yeah.
Sweet. All right. Let me take a moment to do a quick plugin. So during the pandemic, I took some time to create some tutorials. So if you go over to thinkster.io and you scroll down to where it says .NET, and you look for ASP.NET Web API with Victor Campos, which is yours truly. There's some videos that will help you set up a Web API project and a manner that is used in a real world scenario. And so it will help you set up the solution, set up the NuGet package managers. I'll take you through creating authentication and authorization from scratch using the encryption that is built into the .NET framework. We'll go through and save the data in an encrypted manner all the way down to the database. And once you get to the login, that's where you'll probably hit the paywall and you'll have to pony up $20, I believe. It's not that expensive. I think it's $20 a month or something.
Yeah.
So if, let's see here. If I go to Pro, it's $24 a month. So $24 a month, or you can pay as little as $12 a month if you buy a whole year. And if you have a team that you want to work with, you can go ahead and sign up your whole team. But yeah, it's definitely worth the cash in its weight in gold. So yeah, check it out. Let me know what you think. And yeah, cool. Let's see. So last time before our interview with Jeff, we had left off working on an application that we've been, that we started with as a console application, and we've turned it into a web API. And now we're actually building the UI using React, right?
Yeah.
And using React, we put in some navigation on there. And so one of the things that we did is we got stuck working with Bootstrap. And so we're using the latest and greatest Bootstrap 5, and there is no React Bootstrap using Bootstrap 5. It's using React Strap or something like that is using Bootstrap 4. So we always want to be using the latest and greatest.
Oh, yeah.
Make it last, And so so yeah, so what we're going to do is try to figure out that menu navigation so that when it is in a mobile device, we'll be able to use the hamburger menu and use those selections. So let's kick off the meat and potatoes of this show by sharing your screen and debugging that problem.
All right. Here we go.
All right. Wait, no, we need the
Oh yeah.
We need Visual Studio Code.
Let me open that up real quick. Boom. All right, this should be it.
Cool. All right, so why don't we go ahead and launch the Visual Studio Web API? Not this one. Go to Visual Studio and launch the API. Yeah, go ahead and run this. And then go ahead and launch this one here.
Oops. We're pushing buttons. Nope.
Yarn start. Oh, well, npm start also works.
Sorry, I've been doing the tutorials.
Oh.
npm start.
Yeah, that works. Cool. So we still have our list that works. That's beautiful. And then I think our list and add. So if you go to add on the menu, that still works, right? Yeah, it's just a placeholder that we have. And if you go to list, it goes back to the list. But if you use your debugging tools in Chrome and you change the device to a mobile device, this is where we've disabled the menu from converting to a hamburger menu, right? And so we want to go back to being able to use it as a hamburger menu. So let's go to Visual Studio Code. Do you remember what we disabled?
Nav bar. I think it was right here somewhere.
It was one of those, huh?
Toggle navigation.
Yeah. So I'll tell you what. Let's go ahead and we're gonna debug this from Bootstrap's 5 point of view. So let's go ahead and open up Chrome and let's go over to getbootstrap.com. And then let's go over to the docs. And then where is the navigation? I think it's going to be under, is it layout?
Maybe.
No. Can you do a search on this? Oh yeah, search docs. Look for nav.
There we go.
There we go. Nav bar. That's the one right there. So let's scroll down a little bit on that center. And yeah, so we can probably take this example, the nav bar right here.
Okay. The whole thing.
So, well, hang on. Before you do that, let's open up a new instance of Visual Studio Code. So right click on your Visual Studio Code. And yeah, new window. And let's go ahead and open up a, go to File, Open Folder. And let's navigate over to your C drive. Do you have a sandbox folder? Yeah, you have a sandbox folder right there. And then in here, let's go ahead and create a new folder. You see on top, you can create a new folder. And let's call that folder BS5 example for Bootstrap 5 example. Yeah. Yeah, let's select that folder and open that. Cool. Yeah, you trust the authors of this folder. And let's go ahead and maximize this window. And so in here, let's go ahead and create a new HTML file. We're going to work with some basic HTML. Yeah, you could just right click on that one. Yep. And call it index.html. You know what's really cool about Visual Studio Code and working with just basic HTML is that if you type right where your cursor is at, if you type HTML, watch the IntelliSense that comes up. And you can just select HTML5.
Yeah.
And it just gives you the skeleton of the body. I mean, this gives you such a good head start, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what we need to do, though, is if you go back to Chrome and go back to the Bootstrap website, one of the things that we need to do is let's preserve this page, okay? But go ahead and go to the top of this page. And we need to go to content. No, maybe not. Maybe click on home. We're just going to have to remember where this was at. And okay, here we go. Scroll down a little bit. JS deliver, keep on going. Bootstrap icons, official themes.
That's
keep
it.
on. Oh, okay. Oh, get started. Right in the, right, it says guides in the bottom. Get started. All right, here we go. Now we're cooking with fire. So you see that CSS link? Let's go ahead and copy that link. We're going to need that right there. And let's go back to your Visual Studio Code for then here. And in the head, so somewhere in between lines 3 and 8, we need to put that link. Now, normally you're going to want to put that particular link. And again, this works. I'm not saying it doesn't work, but just based on like things that should probably be taken care of first is like the character set, you know, the fact that you got the XUA compatible, the viewport, and then your title. So that particular link that you just pasted on 4, let's go ahead and put it at the end after title. That's probably a better place. Yeah, that's probably good. Let's go back to Chrome. And if you scroll down a little bit, we're also going to need, let's see here. We got the CSS. Hang on, you're going too fast. Let's scroll to the top again. So we need the CSS, and then we also need the JavaScript. So let's see. You see those 2 scripts at the bottom? Oh, actually, you can just get the bundle. You can just copy that bundle.
Okay.
Yeah. You see where it says copy? Yeah, right there. And let's copy that. So with this, we're going to want to put it inside the body in line 11. So the reason we want JavaScript in the body, and it's going to go at the very end. So anything that we add, we're going to add it before that script so that we're processing all the HTML and it doesn't stop from processing to go and process JavaScript. It'll go and display everything to the user and then go and process JavaScript. And so this gives the user an illusion that stuff has completed loading. The user is going to take a second to absorb the content that's on the website. And during that time, the JavaScript can execute. And so this gives that impression of a very fast website, even though there's still stuff happening while the user is absorbing the content. That, you know, it'll be doing some work in the background. So, but this gives the illusion that things are loading quickly. All right. Let's go back to that navigation example. And we're going to copy that code. So if you go search for nav, and let's copy that first example and paste it right above the JavaScript. All right. So if you right click, well, let's save it first, right? But if you right click anywhere on this document and view with live server, open with live server, yeah.
There it is.
We're going to see an example here. So let's see that stuff works. So go ahead and just click on a few things. Click on the menu. So the drop down works. Let's go and open up the debug tools and change the port to a mobile device. The menu works, right? So there's stuff that's working really well. So we already know that the JavaScript has something to do with it, but the problem is that the JavaScript that comes out of the box with Bootstrap is going to work against React, because React works differently when it works with JavaScript. So we need to figure out what it's doing and what we need to do to make it do the same thing, but in React. Okay. So one of the things we want to do is we want to make sure that whatever it is that we took out last time, we got to put it back in so that we get the hamburger menu. Even though it doesn't work, we'll make it work in a moment.
Okay.
So let's figure out what it is that we're missing. Do you remember? I forgot what we took out. I wonder if you could do a Control Z. Maybe it'll bring it back.
All right. Let's see.
That would have been too easy. That would have been way too easy. I bet you everyone that's watching this was on the edge of their seat. They're like, what? Control Z? It's like he just opened up Visual Studio Code. So there is a so we're gonna have to do a comparison, right? What we're gonna need is we're gonna need to look at line 23 and check to see what properties exist in your other Visual Studio Code instance. So we're gonna have to be toggling between the two.
Okay.
And then figure out what it is that we need to put back.
Should I put them side by side?
Yeah. So if you collapse the menu, the files. So on the left, if you just collapse those files, you just need to click on the double. Yeah, there we go. And then do the same thing with the other one. There you go.
All right.
So now we can do a side-by-side comparison. So this one has nav bar expand. Oh, there it is. Nav bar expand LG.
LG.
Dash LG.
Right here.
Yeah. So replace that nav bar expand with the nav bar expand LG. Let's save that, and then let's go back to the browser and see if we can get it to come up. Yeah. All right. So we got the hamburger menu, but we do not have the navigation to, or the thing to pop it open, right?
Yeah.
So that means that if you go back to the example, the BS5 example in the browser.
Oh.
In the browser. Okay. So if you click on that. Okay. So let's go ahead and expand the body over on the debugger tools. Expand the body and expand the navigation. Or you know what? Hang on, right there, right where it's at. Go ahead and toggle that hamburger and see what changes here. Nothing yet, huh? Let's go ahead and expand the div, the container fluid. We have to see what changes when you toggle the hamburger menu.
Okay.
So go ahead and click on the hamburger menu. Oh, look at that. Something changed.
Yeah.
Okay, so go ahead and close the hamburger menu.
Okay.
So right now, that button says navbar toggler collapsed, right? And when you click on the hamburger menu, what happens to that navbar toggler? The collapse goes away. Okay, so that's one that we need to fix.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and collapse that button again, collapse the hamburger. And we also have under that div, or wait a second, expanded changes as well, right?
Yeah. Area expanded goes to true.
Expand goes to true. Okay. And then there's something in the div that also.
Yeah.
So div collapse. And if you click on that, the collapse goes away. Collapse show. Look at that. Okay. So we have three things to fix. We have to fix the button. We have to fix the area expanded. And the div, we have to add that show.
Okay.
Okay, so let's go to your code. And yeah, maximize that your window. Okay. So can you go up to the top of your code here? Do we have a class, or what is it that we have? Oh, we have a function. Oh, this is beautiful. Okay. So you remember in the videos that you're watching, they talk about functions and how these functions, they need to use what they call React hooks. Do you remember that?
React hooks.
So on line 1, I don't know if you remember from your videos, you can do import React, and then you can use a comma, import React, comma, and then you can do the curly braces, and then you're going to use state. You remember that?
Yeah.
It's a lowercase use, uppercase state, all one word. Yeah, that's it right there. Okay. And so inside of the function app, so after line 13, let's start a new line. Because what you're returning is the result of the JSX, right? So in here, we're going to create a constant. So const that determines that we're creating a constant. And this one, we're going to create 2 variables, and we're going to put those variables inside the square brackets.
Okay.
And let's call the first one is nav collapsed. Collapsed with a D. Yeah. And then we want to use Pascal casing, so nav is capital and collapse is capital. And then the second variable is going to be set is nav collapsed. And this is going to be equal to the equal is outside of the bracket. Yeah, there we go. It's going to be equal to use state, and the default value of is nav collapse is going to be true. So inside of parentheses, you're going to put in true. And then you're going to terminate that with the semicolon. And then you can go ahead and remove the space between use state and the parentheses. So essentially what this is doing, okay, is it's going to use a React hook called useState, and we're setting the default state to true. In other words, we're saying, is the nav collapsed? We're saying that is true, okay? And the set is nav collapse is going to be a function that is gonna set, or is gonna toggle that is nav collapsed, okay? So go ahead and start a new line, and we're gonna create a function, and that function is called constant. It's going to be a constant, and the name of that is going to be handle nav collapse. Just the word handle nav collapsed. And that's going to be equal to set is nav collapsed. And then you're going to pass it the opposite of whatever is nav collapse currently is. And the way that you do that is you put it inside parentheses, and you're going to put an exclamation point, and you're going to say is nav collapsed. And then terminate that with the semicolon. So let's look at what this is doing, okay? So isNav collapse is being set by useState, and the default value is true. So that means that our navigation is collapsed. Okay. useState returns a function, and it's called setIsNav. So that's the name that we're giving. Whatever function useState is giving us back, we're going to set it to be setIsNav collapsed. Okay. And then what we're doing is we're creating our own function called handle nav collapsed. And we're saying this is equal to the function that useState gave us, which is setIsNav collapsed. The only difference is that we want to set whatever is nav collapse on line 14. We want to set whatever the opposite is. So if it's true, we want to set it to false. And the way that we do that is we say not true or not false. And so that sets it to the opposite value. And we do that by putting the exclamation point. So that handle nav collapse, we can use it that particular issue, I fixed it by replacing it with, instead of an anchor tag, I ended up putting the link class from navigation. So let's go ahead and replace that whole line 27 with the link tag. So you can start a new line on after, oh yeah, after line 26, start a new line.
Okay.
Yeah, this is where we have the information that we need. So it's going to be open ankle bracket, and then it'll be capital L link, and then space, and then TO equals, and then single quote. It'll just be a /. In other words, it's going to go to the root. Inside the single quote, just put a /. That's going to go to the root.
Okay.
And then the class name, you can go ahead and just copy it from the anchor. It's going to be the same class name, including class name.
Oh.
Yeah, you could just copy that whole thing and put that right after the single quote on line 27. Put a space. And then if you get rid of the close ankle bracket and type it in again, it'll go ahead and close your link.
There we go.
And then inside, you're going to put significant. And so I think you can get rid of line 28 at this point. Not the button.
Oops.
You got rid of too much. Control Z again. Okay, yeah, just line 28, not 29. Cool. Go ahead and save this and let's see if it compiles. Ooh, it worked. All right, let's go check it out. This is, oh, just go ahead and refresh this. What? What is going on here? Refresh it again. Wait, let me look at this. Too many re-render. React limits the number of re-renders to prevent an infinite loop. 17 stack frames were collapsed. Why is this re-rendering so many times? What did we do? Go ahead and remove the phone and just put it as a regular website. This is interesting. I don't think I've ever ran into this. Let's go back to your code for a moment. What did we do that changed this? Constant return. all we did was add the isNav collapsed and the handle. Scroll down a little bit. What would be different? Isnav collapsed. Is it the router? Is it the fact that we have the router in there? I wonder, let me see here. App.js. We have our links. Oh, well, let's see. Scroll down a little bit more. Button, that. Go ahead and scroll down a little bit more. There's our links. Scroll down, keep on going. That's going to switch through edit birthday and birth date list. We're going to the add. Okay, that wouldn't do it. Let's go look at index.js for a second. This is just going to render it once. Okay. Let's go back to app.js. This is edit. This is birthday list. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's go ahead and do a Control-C inside the terminal.
Okay.
You may need to do 2 of them. Is it not working? Control-Z or Control-C. There you go. Control-C.
Yep.
Do
it.
No, didn't do it.
I can't type anything else.
Huh. Okay, let's go ahead and close Visual Studio Code. I think Visual Studio Code took a dump on us. Nothing surprising. I'm wondering if it's having an issue with, go to the birth date list. I wonder if it has a problem with birth date list. The fact that this is a component and component did mount. Just for a moment, let's go ahead and comment 17, 18, and 19. Comment those out. I want to see if this is causing the issue. Actually, go ahead and remove those /. If you highlight them and then do Alt /, it'll comment for you. Or Control /. Try Control /. There you go. Okay, let's save this. And let's go back to the page and refresh it. It's still doing it. What the freak, man?
What the freaking freak?
I am baffled by this one here. Man, I thought this was going to be a quick episode. I thought, slam dunk, we got it. Handle nav collapse. Navigation is nav true, false. Scroll up some. So clearly this is because of those constants. But what's interesting is that in my example, I don't have that problem. Okay, let's comment out 14 and 15. I want to see if that's causing the issue. You got the return. You got to uncomment the return. Let's go ahead and save this. Okay, is collapse is not defined. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Okay, so is collapse unhandled is not defined. Is collapse is not defined. Okay. Okay, let's go back to the code. And after line 13, just let's just create a constant called isNav collapsed. Oh, you know what?
Yeah.
Uncomment line 15. Go ahead and get rid of line 14 and uncomment line 15. Oh, it'll be, yeah, 14. Okay. And then uncomment line 15 as well. And instead of equal set nav collapse, let's just put a you can go ahead and comment out set is nav collapse by putting double slashes in front of it. And then, yeah, double slash. And then after handle nav collapse, let's just put equals, open close parenthesis, equals, or the fat arrow function, open close curly braces. I want to see if, and then, yeah, semicolon. I want to see if this is, go ahead and save this, and then let's see. Set nav collapse is assigned. Okay, so this is bringing it back, but the function is nav collapse is what's screwing things up. Handle nav collapse is what's screwing things up. How did we, oh, I see. Okay, here's what we did wrong, Jonathan.
All right.
We set handle nav collapse directly to the function, which was incorrect. Okay, what we need to do, you see how we did the open close curly brace?
Mm-hmm.
Our function handle nav collapse is going to call the function set is nav collapse inside the function. So let's go ahead and we're gonna put, you can just backspace from the S in set is nav collapse, backspace all the way to getting rid of the curly braces right there. So we forgot the equals empty parentheses.
Okay.
That's what we forgot. Okay, so I'll go ahead and save this. Oh, we also need to uncomment our code where we assign the table. So go to the birthday list and then put this back in there. Yeah, so control / will toggle it. You just highlight it and control / it'll toggle it. There you go. Save this. And then let's go back to, yes. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Okay, so now we should be able to go to add and then go back to list and then go open up our debug tools and set the mobile device on and then hit that toggle menu. Yeah. Cool. And then hit on the add.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah.
There it is.
There it is. So what's the takeaway here, Jonathan? We basically took the example that Bootstrap gave us and we plugged it in and we examined what changes, because the rubber has to hit the road somewhere, what changes in order to make that toggle expand and collapse, right? And so once we figured out what changed, we just have to insert that functionality into React. We're circumventing the behavior of Bootstrap and adapting it to work with natively the way React is supposed to treat it. Otherwise, if we let Bootstrap do it, then it's going to go and do it in its own way, which isn't the React way of doing things, because React goes and updates its virtual DOM. And then once it updates its virtual DOM, it updates the real DOM and only changes exactly what it needs to change. Where Bootstrap is going to want to go and manipulate the DOM directly. And that's a very slow process. We don't want to let it do that. We want to do it the React way of doing things. So just by conditionally assigning classes to the Bootstrap through using the Bootstrap framework and using React, we're able to get the same functionality. So the frameworks like React that are basically React wrappers around Bootstrap, they're essentially, this is what they're doing. So
cool.
Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah.
Man, I think this is a win for us here. We better stop while we're ahead. Man, oh man, this is cool. What do you think? This is a good place to stop?
Yeah, sounds good.
Excellent. So that's that's episode 21. We got one win for Bootstrap 5, using it natively in React, letting React do all the work for us. So cool. Until next time,
on the road to code.
Peace out.